Oh, what is good, everybody? It is a glorious Friday morning here on Coaching Company. We're live, as always, every single weekday on the Stadium Network. We are available in over 100 million homes on Amazon Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV, Roku TV. And coming up in 6 days, two more big platforms will be signing on. We're very, very excited for that. Now, we have a ton of content coming out of BTT Studios every single day. Two different YouTube channels now. So if you want your voice to be heard on national television, all you got to do is come into the chat via super sticker or being
Everybody, we're gonna hopefully get Coach's microphone fixed. We're not exactly sure what's going on, but I know he was getting into a little bit of what we did yesterday. So let's take a look back at how we did yesterday. And yes, is an X kind of day, but we're not going to let that bring us down on a beautiful Friday. We're going to keep this thing moving. And if you want to go ahead and sign up, make sure you check out all of our tier systems as you want to make sure that you're a part of the family here at BTT Studios, but also here at Coach and Company. All right, so Coach might be getting his stuff figured out, but we're going to keep this thing moving. And once he is ready, we're going to continue to have a great show. But let's go ahead and beat the books.
All right, am I working now? Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. I love tech. Absolutely love tech. You know what it was? Is that we didn't really want to show our results from yesterday. That was the problem. That was the problem. We had such an awful day. But we're not going to look in the rear view. We're going to look forward because we have a ton of content today. Not only are we going to hoop it up, gentlemen, in 30 minutes, we've got to talk NFL draft. How did Shadur Sanders wake up this morning? But also right here, we've got our best bets and also a little Footy Friday. But look at the list. Look at an embarrassment of riches. Let's start with all the way at the end. The man is one of the busiest men in all of show business. Mark Zeno. We love having you on Fridays. Good morning, sir.
Coach, great to be with you. Thank you for having me as always. Let's get some money today.
Let's get some money today is right. Now, later in about 45 minutes, we're going to have some prize picks. Now, Soupy, I don't know if you were watching yesterday, but young Peyton, King Lettuce, was talking a little bit of trash. You caught some strays. That's all I'm saying.
It is what it is. I lost this week. I will take those lumps, but guess what? We'll be right back.
Boom. Now, this man is one of the hottest cappers in all of football, and it seems like every single day that he's on, we cash in the day and we start off well. He's the man from the dirty. And Big Chuck, your team is in the headlines for something they didn't do in round number 1. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Coachman Company. Nice to be back in the saddle. I had a feeling they were going to pass on it. They tried to get slick. Now let's see if it burns them.
And finally, he's the man from Memphis, Tennessee. And last night, your squad, your team, your Grizzlies. I was sitting at the musical. I was watching my beautiful daughter, and I'm like, oh, they're up 26 at halftime. We're going to have a 2-1 series. That was not the case. How was your post game last night, Mr. Greer?
Good morning, guys. I would say the post game was fiery. I gave myself hope, Coach. That's on me. But when John Morant gets flipped, turned upside down, there's a song about Will Smith that says something about that. I think that the whole entire series just ended once that flip happened.
Did you just bring up one of my favorite shows of all time, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? That's how you get a positive Friday started. All right, gentlemen, here we go. We got to get to our best bets today. We've got a ton of them. Mr. Zeno, I want to pick you up. I want to lift you up. And I want you to lift us up today. So I'm going to let you start us off. Where are you headed today, sir?
I cannot believe we are seeing the price that we are seeing on Paul Skeens as an underdog. Not even since his first start has he ever been priced as a plus 180 underdog here. Get the best bet you can get in baseball, take the 1.5, and you only have to lay minus 128 with Paul Skeens on the mound. Look, is there any reason to believe that Skeens won't go 7 innings and give up just 1 run? I know the Pirates' offense is bad. I know the Dodgers are starting Yamamoto, very hard to get a hit off of, but I'm not asking for much here. This is just too much of a good price to pass up on Paul Skeens here, getting the 1.5. So we'll take the Pirates tonight, plus 1.5, and then we'll also stay out west, and we will go to San Diego. Padres coming off a bad series in Detroit where they only scored 6 runs. They get their best starter on the mound in Michael King. He has been excellent his last 2 home starts, 14 innings, 4 hits, 18 strikeouts in the last 2 home starts against the Rays. Shane Baz making his first road start. Padres, top 5, batting average, OPS, WRC plus at home this year. They're also 12-1, Padres money line.
Absolutely love those 2 plays. By the way, when I look at that Dodgers play, would you also, I don't know what the first 5 number is, but with the Skeens getting that good number for the game, would you also like the first 5?
I looked at it. Yeah, I mean, I would take the Pirates money line or even the Pirates run line at plus 0.5 is basically even money.
Wow.
It's just these numbers. You don't see these numbers with Skeens ever.
But you got to find them. That's why you got to watch the show. Hashtag it pays to watch live. Zeno, great job. I can't believe that number. It feels like almost there's something wrong. Like we're missing something. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
This dude continues to win on and off the field. All right, gentlemen. Zeno setting the stage. Zeno setting the mark. So Soupy, big boy, best beard in the game. Coming over to you. What are your best bets today, sir?
I'm going to start with the Devils and the Hurricanes. Hurricanes, they have that 2-0 lead, but they're going to New Jersey where they've beaten the Hurricanes twice in the regular season. And the Hurricanes, they don't play well when they're on the road. Just 16, 21, and 4, and they're 21st in goals scored per game on the road. So I think that the Devils can win this game, and you're getting it at plus 142. It's a great value. And then I'm going to basketball, Magic, Celtics. It looks like the Celtics are going to control this series, but the Magic are continually staying in the game at halftime. So I'm going to go with them at plus 2.5 in the first half because they've stayed in contention in both halves. They led in the first. They led at halftime in game 1. There's no Jason Tatum. They have to adjust against the Celtics without him. They couldn't do that in the first game. I think it's going to stay close. But like in the other 2 games, I think the Celtics make the adjustments at halftime and they pull away with the win.
I love how you guys are looking at different ways to play these games because it's so easy, and a lot of people get very lazy because they don't want to do the work, and they just look at the spread, they look at the total, they look at the money line, but you guys are finding different ways. And I apologize, I got a little distracted because Stadium, they're a little bit behind. That's how live TV works, and I just had Zeno's face in full living color to my left right there. My apologies, Soupy. I'd rather look at Zeno than look at you. Facts. It's just the way it is. All right, now 2 down, 2 to go, and then Mark's waiting in the wings. DG, I need you to pick yourself up after last night. Brutal. Although I thought you were very professional on the post-game show, by the way. You're down 3-0, but we're not focused on that right now. Where are you headed today, Best Bets?
Yeah, down 3-0 with the Grizzlies, but we're going to be up 2-0 on these plays. We're going Franz Wagner, under 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists. It's at minus 120, a little juicy on there. But he's under in all 13 matchups lifetime versus Boston. That doesn't matter that much. Under in 18 of 24 games, yeah, that doesn't matter as much. But in all honesty, when the playoffs hit, everything goes under. The game tightens up. So if he's not already flying over these numbers against a Boston team that's good at defense, I don't expect it to happen here. So we're going to go under the 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Then we're going to go to my favorite and everybody's favorite. We're going to go to the 2+ walks parlay at minus 117. Taijuan Walker for the Phillies. Early game today. Make sure you get this in. But the Cubs draw the most walks at home. Taijuan Walker likes to walk guys. Cal Quantrill, 8+ walks in last 2 games. Seattle draws the most walks just overall in the major leagues. Both these guys have 2+ walks at minus 117.
Loves to do. It's what we love to cash, the walk parlay for our man DG. All right, Zeno's gone, Soupy's gone, DG is gone, which means I'm looking at my sheet, I'm looking at my preparation, and I feel like we need a little something on the pitch, but not just regular picks this week. No, it's time for a little Footy Friday. All right, Big Chuck. We got 5 plays for the weekend. Let's start with a team that a lot of people say is nice, but it actually is called Nice. Let's divide it up by days. You're up.
Footy Friday. We're actually going to go to the Friday match in France League 1, PSG Nice. I like Nice as a dog a lot in this spot, and I expect them to score a first half goal. Nice first half team total over half a goal. The Eagles average 1.1 first half team goals at home. Saturday, we're going to go to the Bundesliga. Hoffenheim Dortmund, the first half over 1.5 goals. Hoffenheim have scored 4 first half goals in their last 3 matches, while Dortmund, they have scored 6 first half goals in their last 4 matches. And then MLS Saturday night, we have the Columbus Crew, San Jose Earthquakes, both teams to score in over 2.5. Columbus average 1.2 team goals at home, and the San Jose are scoring an average of 1.9 team goals on the road. And Sunday, we had to have a little Serie Inter Milan, Roma, both teams to score. This is cashed in 6 of the last 8 meetings played in Milan. And then lastly, I'm going back to the MLS. LA Galaxy, Portland Timbers. Galaxy are desperate for a win, and they've scored at least 6 goals in their last 9 meetings with the Timbers. Galaxy team total over 1.5.
Boom and boom. 5 big plays, Footy Friday. I'm telling you right now, this happens every single week, that by about 4 o'clock this afternoon, you're going to have a check mark. I encourage you to play Nice and get it in right now, because as soon as he goes with his premium plays as well, everything goes up. So there is a QR code. We love to support our side hustles here at Coaching Company. Everybody's out there in the streets, and I'm telling you right now, 1 or 2 plays, and you're going to pay for the entire year at Charles's store on the side. I'm telling you right now, it's amazing. We all are members there. Thank you, Big Chuck. Now look who's arrived. Mark from JTS. I've been getting more tweets and more notes about you than anybody else on the show. So you're starting to crack through that wall that's so difficult to do. So this morning, sir, I ask you, what is our JTS play of the day?
Coach, we're going with the little diamond and ice play of the day. And this parlay is a little bit spicier than a gas station taquito at midnight. On the diamond, we've got Detroit's Kerry Carpenter to not have a walk tonight. Carp has drawn a walk just once in 81 plate appearances all season long. We don't call that plate discipline. We call that an allergic reaction. On the ice, we're skating over to Edmonton with Victor Arvidsson to go over 1.5 shots on goal. Arvie is facing his ex, the Kings, and nothing motivates like seeing your old team doing just fine without you. He's had 6 games to remind his old team of what they had, and he's gone over this line in all 6, averaging 3.7 revenge-fueled shots on goal. Talk about a petty machete. So yeah, no walk for Kerry, yes shots for Victor. Put them both together for a plus 120 parlay that is locked in tighter than a Princess Leia cinnamon bun hairdo, and that is your Justice Stat Sports play of the day.
What was that last joke? Tighter than a what?
Princess Leia's cinnamon bun hairdo.
I have no idea what that is. Absolutely zero. By the way, Raphael, our numbers guy's in the chat. He had the over-under at 25.5 on jokes today. We cashed the under, barely. But you can see right there, if you want to be a part of what we're doing over at JTS, so many of you, the traffic's insane. Download that QR code. Use our code BTT30. We're going to give you 30 days for free. Then after that, you'll be playing with house money, because the algorithms, the cappers, the edges, all of that is absolutely insane. So, Mark, thank you very much. Mark will be in the chat throughout the show alongside of Raphael. All right, good start to the day, except for my tech. Still to come, we've got so much content coming up in just 3 minutes. We're talking the NFL draft. Where will Shadir Sanders land on day number 2? Bottom of the hour in about 18 minutes, we're talking NBA basketball. Can the Lakers make it 2 in a row in their series with the Timberwolves? And then coming up in about 30 minutes, Soupy is back with his prize picks, all NBA. We're just getting started. It's a glorious Friday. Where else but Coaching Company? As always, live right here on Stadium. All right, we continue on here on our brand new YouTube page. If you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so as we are separating our sports betting content with our new show, Weekday Wagers and Coaching Company, and then our original, much bigger YouTube page. We have all of our wrestling content coming on there as well. A brand new interview dropping today. Guys, we're going to be getting into the NFL draft coming up in a couple of minutes, but Zeno, let me start with you. Did you like how they laid it out and the look in Green Bay for the very first time?
What was it with the green room being 3/4 of a mile from
Right?
the stage? Why did these guys have to run a mile to get on stage to shake Roger? I did not understand. Like, I know you need time to run a package on the player, but it was excessive. That was a long walk. If I was one of those guys, I'd be like, what the hell is this stage? What am I going to keep doing?
I think they were at Brett Favre's restaurant, and then they walked all the way across the street. It was just, some of the linemen were gassed to the gills.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, I can't believe I got here. DG, Zeno's absolutely right. That was the longest walk I've ever seen. You went from outside into a tunnel, up, over, around, and then all of a sudden you get the hug from Goodell. Did you like it, or was it too much for you too?
So I like the entire setup. I thought it's great that they're going to different cities. But, Coach, I know you'll remember this. Going back to when they had it back in Las Vegas, the Caesars WrestleMania, where they took those carts out, put the guys on a cart, let them just kind of be paraded all the way up to the stage. That would have made everything just so much better.
It might have. Soupy, you're all over this for Prize Picks. It's a part of what you do. Did you like the whole setup?
I did. And actually, if we don't know this, in the 2020 draft, it was supposed to be in Vegas. They were supposed to set it up in the middle of an ocean, like a water thing or something. And each pick was supposed to take a boat to the stage. Of course, that didn't happen because it was in 2020. But yeah,
they're trying too hard.
Zeno, that's what I was getting ready to say. They're trying too hard. They're trying to do too much.
I mean, the Roger Goodell hugs are
that was a bet. We're back live in 5 seconds. Welcome back. I'm laughing because we have a lot of good times at our breaks. If you want to watch on YouTube, we continue on through the breaks. We're live here on Stadium as always. I am laughing. Let's bring all the guys back up on screen because Zeno, right there at the end, we were talking about the setup and the NFL draft and all of that, and you were starting to say something about the hugs. What bothers you with the hugs with Roger Goodell?
Come on, does Roger Goodell actually walk up to some of these guys and say, "What handshake do you want to do?" Some guys are like, you just shake his hand. There's no need for the bear hug. Just shake his hand, make it a business thing, hold the jersey up. And it's not about you, Roger. Just stop.
Now, this tells you, Zeno and everybody else, how far the NFL draft has come in the world of betting. Because we had yesterday that the length of boo for Roger Goodell, the longest one would be 11 seconds. I don't know if it cashed or not. I really don't know. But that was a bet. I think you could bet on the amount of full hugs. You could bet on so many different things that had nothing to do with the draft at all. But guess who did not get a bear hug yesterday? And that's our boy, Shadir Sanders. And I said live on the show yesterday that I believe part of the reason he did not go to the draft because he knew deep down in a place he doesn't like to talk about at parties, which he had one of his own, that he was not going to go in the first round. And that's exactly what happened. So let's take video footage, and then I'm going to have all you guys react to this. So the first video is Dion, his dad, who was very, very vocal in the lead up to the draft, that his son would not play here, 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 and here. And apparently all 32 didn't want him. Here's the video of Dion watching the Pittsburgh Steelers pick.
NFL draft. The New Orleans Saints select Kelvin Banks Jr., tackle, Texas.
I meant the Saints, but it's the same reaction. He says, yeah, keep it moving, keep it moving. Well, Shadir also has a brother named Shiloh, not nearly as good as his brother. Here is Shiloh's reaction when everybody kept skipping on his brother, and then he's talking about himself. Roll tape.
This part of was I don't understand. Because you gotta understand. See, bro, I don't even know what they're gonna do with me, bro, because they're doing you like this. Selfish ass. By himself. If they doing him, they making him wait? Oh, buddy. Me? Oh. You good.
So they're laughing there, but then at the end of the night, when it was very apparent that Shadur was not going to go in the first round, he did address everybody at the party. Roll tape.
We all didn't expect this, of course, but I feel like with God, anything possible, everything possible. I don't feel like this happened, for no reason. All this is, of course, fuel to the fire. And under no circumstance, we all know this shouldn't have happened. But we understand we're on the bigger and better things. Tomorrow's the day. We're going to be happy regardless. Legendary.
So apparently legendary is apparently the new branding thing that he's doing. DG, I got to start with you. The whole Shadur Sanders thing overshadowed everything else in that first round, and he is not legendary. He did not go in the first round. Whatever plans they had were shattered. What was your take on Sanders and the whole debacle last night?
Yeah, it's honestly what ESPN's doing and trying to market all of this and show everything that's happening with Shadur Sanders. This was a blessing for them because now they get to have him for day 2. And how awesome is that to have this happen just again and all over again? But I will say, I hated everything that led up into the draft, all the anonymous quotes and everything. But I have to say that what happened there with Shadur Sanders is very humbling to him, but also it's very good that Dion and his wife have raised a good kid that in one of the worst moments probably in his life, he's actually handling it really well. And I know it will be fuel to the fire. He is a good football player. Whatever has happened in these interviews or on the field, whatever happens in the future, I still think he's a good football player.
You're right. Zeno, let me come over to you because when you talk about him being a good kid, that's awesome. But I think that all of the rumors or all of the statements from the anonymous assistants that said horrible meetings, entitled, not a good football player, make bad throws. He completed 72% of his passes last year. I think all of that led to teams backing off. What was your take?
Well, I think you got a perfect storm of events. Number one, the need for quarterbacks after the Tennessee Titans was very low. I mean, in reality, it was the Browns and the Giants are the only teams that really might have been in, quote, need of a quarterback. After that, everybody else was pretty set. I mean, even the Saints to a certain extent with Derek Carr and the injury. I mean, the other part of this, too, is that there were some heavy contracts for quarterbacks out there for some of these teams, both in Cleveland and in New Orleans. So I think that's number one. The other part of this, too, is that, it just goes to show you because those teams didn't think that he was worth the draft pick. Doesn't mean all 32 NFL scouts and GMs felt that same way. There are teams that are not going to take. The Bills are not taking a quarterback. Like the Eagles are not taking a quarterback. That doesn't mean their GM didn't value them differently, didn't value Shadur Sanders differently than the other ones who might have needed one to do it. So you get a perfect storm of events here. And to your point here, Coach, Shadur Sanders had like the third highest completion percentage in NCAA history. Let's not talk about him like he's a bad quarterback. He might have some bad traits, but again, certain GMs in this league will for a variety of different reasons stay away from guys that aren't really valid reasons. They just get a bad feeling and they're not in the mood or whatever it may be.
It's becoming an epidemic. And Soupy, as I come over to you, right now the Browns are now minus 400, according to Raphael. The Raiders plus 500 and the Saints plus 700 to take Sanders in the draft, period. The Browns have the first pick in the second round tonight. Will that name be Shadur Sanders?
It's tough to say. I think it could be just because it's either going to be Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett at quarterback. I don't know if those are really two of the best options. And Zeno, you say he's the third best. He's actually the most accurate quarterback in NCAA history. You look at his stats, it has a gold standard right there. It means he's the most accurate quarterback ever in NCAA history. And one thing I look at is we look at quarterbacks now. You want them to be flashy. You want to be able to run. You want to be able to throw from different side angles. Shadur doesn't do that. He's more wants to be a traditional pocket passer. He wants to just sort of have that spread offense, and he doesn't do anything flashy. He's just efficient. He runs an offense well, and I think teams are starting to evaluate quarterbacks differently now, and that traditional pocket passer is starting to go away. I think that part of that might have hurt his draft stock, and it does come with everything else of being with the Sanders. I think also hurt his draft stock.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And Zeno used the term "perfect storm." Charles. And this might be a perfect storm for the Saints because you guys desperately need a quarterback. Derek Carr is going to be out this entire season. but you're picking 8th behind the Raiders and behind the Browns. Does that concern you?
Absolutely. I felt like Dion when we made our selection. That's just typical Saints, though. I don't think we've made a splash since Reggie Bush. I would be surprised if he hits an already off the board, but could you imagine still getting drafted in the second round and going to Cleveland and not playing with your buddy Travis Hunter? That's got to really stink.
It's got to sting, but it might be the only way the Browns could afford him. They'd have to do the fully guaranteed now. So I love that perfect storm. I want other takes. DG, let me come back to you. Outside of Shadir Sanders, what was your biggest takeaway from night 1 of the draft?
Yeah, I saw the Giants go back and get, Jackson Dart, and I think that's a good move for Jackson Dart. For simply is, you're not going to see Jackson Dart get on the field day one, and that's going to be beneficial for him. I don't think Jackson Dart's a great quarterback. I think he has potential. I think he needs to be coached up, and I think he needs to have a long leash once they get him on the field. But we're not going to see Jackson Dart because we have 2 good quarterbacks there in New York. But he could play Week 17.
You say we
We've
have
seen
good
that.
quarterbacks in New York. Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston are not good quarterbacks. There are no good quarterbacks in New York.
They're
No,
veteran
not even on the
quarterbacks.
Jets.
All right, Zeno, I'm coming right over to you. Your
My
biggest
God.
takeaway, and clearly you don't agree with DG.
Philosophically, there is only one way to draft a franchise quarterback in the NFL. That is to take that person at your very first available and highest opportunity to do so. There is no such thing as drafting a quarterback in the NFL philosophy where he falls to me. That's just luck. That's not a draft strategy. Good quarterbacks don't fall. So the idea that you thought Jackson Dart was good enough to draft in the first round, just not third overall, is flawed as a philosophy by the Giants. If you thought he was your franchise guy, you should have taken him at 3 overall. No excuses. Daniel Jones was a bad pick, but at least when the Giants did that, they said, number 6, we're not waiting. We don't think he's going to fall. This is our guy. We're going all in. That's how you draft a franchise quarterback. And the idea that you traded back into the first round for a guy in Jackson Dart whose ceiling I don't think is as high as Shedeur Sanders, to me, again, to sit on the bench, flawed. Joe Shane and Brian Daboll are walking to the chopping block very slowly and very painfully.
I say it all the time. Not everybody is meant to be in these big roles. They're not. That's why you have really, really great GMs and head coaches and not. And Soupy, as I come over to you, I love what Zeno just said. And the opposite of that is kind of what the Jags did. They traded up. They said, I want this guy. I need to go get him. Let's make it happen. And they got Travis Hunter. And that's the guy they wanted. What is your take on, because you're a Northeast guy, you're my guy, on trading and things kind of falling into your lap and then saying, oh, this is what we planned the whole time?
I do like the fact that Jacksonville, they said, we want Travis Hunter. We want this guy. Let's add a weapon for Trevor Lawrence. Let's add a guy in the secondary, because the way that they're talking about, he's going to play both positions. They're thinking maybe more of a wide receiver and then play certain packages in the quarter, which I think he should be doing in the NFL. You can't play full-time at both positions. And I had a feeling this was going to happen. You saw earlier in the day when Joe Shane's son put that highlight reel of Jackson Dart up. This quarterback draft class was nowhere compared to where it was last year when all those quarterbacks fell. I think this just was a circumstance where Brian Daboll and Joe Shane, their jobs were on the line. This was time to get their guy. Daniel Jones wasn't their guy. They needed to get their guy, develop their guy, and he is going to play at some point this season because he needs to perform well to show John Mara that, hey, we did it right. Let us keep our jobs, because if he doesn't do well, they're gone next year.
All right, I got about 20 seconds. Charles, what was your biggest takeaway outside of Shadir Sanders?
My Saints also passing on the tight end from Penn State, Mr. Tyler Warren. I figured he would come over, be that Dallas Goddard type mold. Kellen Moore as the coach. I was shocked they passed on him. A great tight end.
He is a great tight end. Big, strong, but I think that we'll end it with what Zeno said. You've got to have a draft strategy, and it's got to be right in front of you. And it feels like a lot of teams, not just the Giants, but a lot of teams are playing into the media and playing into reports and playing into what fans want instead of what your franchise actually needs. Day 2 coming up today. It should be very, very exciting. All right, we're only halfway done here on Coaching Company live on Stadium. Still to come on the other side. We're dropping a brand new interview with a guy named Shane Hartline. You don't want to miss a little snippet of that coming up. Also, we hoop it up 3 big games tonight on the NBA hardwood. My guys talk all about it. It's Coaching Company. As always, it's Friday right here on Stadium. Come on back. So last night, we're getting ready to get into Hoop It Up. Ja Morant goes down, and now they're down 3-0. DG, could there have been a worse scenario than blowing a 26-point lead and your boy going down? And a lot of people blamed Dort, but he slipped. It was unfortunate. And then you have all the mix-up. Was that just another perfect storm negatively for your Grizzlies?
Yeah, it was a perfect storm. The Grizzlies were the better team last night, and it was showing. And yes, it was a slip from Lou Dort, but I don't know anybody that slips, kind of gets traction, and then propels them into a player when you're about to get dunked on. It's literally a slip like, oh, abort mission. Let me get out of the way. Lou Dort said, nope, baby, we're going head into the storm. You talk about
what are you watching?
Storm.
What are you watching?
Look at the film, Coach.
I did. All right. It's only 2.5 minutes. Zeno, do you agree with DG? Was that intentional?
I don't think it was intentional. I just think, look, part of the game at this point for the Grizzlies really, in reality, it doesn't matter. Like,
that's true. That's true.
I mean, I get your point, but they're not winning this series. They had no chance to win this series. So at the end of the day, let's just put this thing out of its misery sooner rather than later.
I agree. Soupy, maybe me and DG are arguing over nothing.
It wasn't intentional, but I think I got to agree with Zeno. They don't even want to be in this series. They were like, why did we end up even winning the play-in tournament? Like, oh, we got to play for another week. This sucks.
I just wonder what the future is going to be for Ja Morant. 10 seconds. Chuck, on your thoughts on is this intentional or not by Mr. Dort?
No easy layups or dunks in the playoffs.
That's what I'm talking about right there. No easy dunks. Not even for your boy, DG. Not even for Ja. Not even for Ja. All right, we are on the other side on a beautiful Friday. A busy sports weekend, and it's been a busy sports week here. We're back live in just 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. I am the coach. This is Coach and Company live on the Stadium Network. Also, if you want your voice to be heard, you can do it through a super sticker on our YouTube page, or we have a really big audience watching us on social media. Now, as many of you know, I kind of went viral this week. I want to put out a take on The Rock and WrestleMania and all of that debauchery that happened in Las Vegas. Almost 1 million views on that one video for your boy. So we thought we'd bring on, for the latest BTT conversation, one of the funniest comedians, writers, producers in the world today. He has been featured on SNL, and he is obsessed with wrestling. So we have him today. The interview drops at 11 a.m., but here's what he's dropping today. His latest skit, it's called The Writer's Room, on the finish of WrestleMania. Roll tape.
All right, boys, tonight is night 2 WrestleMania. We need a finish.
It's Cena's last WrestleMania. We gotta go big. Rev bump, then we bring on Travis Scott.
Yeah. Bring down Travis Scott, and then he can throw down on Cody with Cena.
No. Then, to Cody's rescue comes his former Legacy teammate, Randy Orton.
Love it! And then, if you smell, out comes the final boss, The Rock.
Rock bottom to Randy Orton.
Yeah!
According to The Rock's Instagram, he's in Hawaii.
Well, he's got a private jet, and he can get his ass here. Yeah!
No.
Glass shatters! Finally! Stone Cold comes out on an ATV! Yeah!
Full speed! Using him for anything else would be a big waste of time.
My mom loves Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's why I got her front row seats.
One last face-to-face with Stone Cold and his greatest rival.
Imagine the visual.
This is what everything's been building towards.
Oh, brilliant.
Yes.
No, we're not gonna do any of that. We're gonna have a ref bump. And Travis Scott comes out.
Full speed.
Nope. Real f***ing slow. That's it. That's it. Fiend.
Oh my God. This guy is something else. You can see the full interview on our BTT YouTube page today. He's just, and I know DG and Soupy, you guys are big wrestling fans. He got that up in like 4 days. He got that shot and done in 4 days. That's how much the finish of WrestleMania is still resonating. DG, does this still bother you? How they decided to end night 2?
I didn't love it at all, but I will have to say, my God, that was really, really funny and very spot on. What they did and how they kind of moved the camera around and the different guys participating in that. Shout out to him for doing that. Looks really good.
He's got so many. He's got a writer's room. He does a lot of different skits, and he has agreed to be on the show from time to time with some of his new stuff, which will be cool. Soupy, I know you were all over the finish of WrestleMania. You hated it?
Oh my God. I think when you compare it to the one last year, when you got this spectacle of the Undertaker and John Cena, all these people coming out, and then you just get Travis Scott to help John Cena, it's a huge letdown.
At least you had Stone Cold Steve Austin they featured in that skit, using him to announce the attendance. Do you guys know that in 2008, the last WrestleMania that I called, that I was sitting at ringside, we paid Kim Kardashian, I kid you not, $25,000 to walk down to the ring and announce the attendance. She could not remember the number. So we had to put it onto a card that she had to hold in her dress that she jumped off a 3-story building to get into to announce a record-breaking crowd. Oh, her voice was just out of this world annoying. And I'm like, 25 large for that? But hey, 17 years later, we got Stone Cold Steve Austin. Look at Zeno's face where he's like, I hated every minute of it. Don't come to me. Don't come to me.
25 large to read a number. But I do agree that the jumping off the 3-story building probably is how she got into the dress.
And with that, it's time to talk hoops tonight, because out here in the land of entertainment, the Lakers are on the road in Minnesota, and I can't wait to hear my guys break it down. It's time to hoop it up. All right, the game of the night is the latest one. That, of course, is the Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves, and we are tied at 1-1. Zeno, I'll start with you, because this is the series that everybody's looking at, the 3-6 series. The Lakers came back, had a nice blowout win in game number 2, but now they take their game on the road. What do you expect tonight?
I mean, I lean Lakers here. I would tell you I think it's correlated. It's Minnesota in the under and the Lakers in the over. I think when you look at this, it really boils down to how much can Luka and LeBron get in this game and continue to push the pace and continue to score more points against a very stout Minnesota defense. Look, you saw what Minnesota defensively was capable of in this series, right? Like, that's their high-level defense when they do that. But I also look at it and go, they're going to need to be at that level again offensively like they were in game 1 in order to outpace the Lakers, right? So that's where it boils down to.
And as we look at the numbers, I apologize for interrupting you there. At BetMGM right now, DG, excuse me, the Lakers are actually getting 3.5, and the total is 206.5, and it's juiced to the under, actually. What do you make of those numbers right now at BetMGM?
Yeah, so that number's fallen a little bit. I think it was 4.5, and now it's down to 3.5. I really do think that home field advantage, the home court advantage that Minnesota has is not as known around the league as it should be. I think it's going to be just kind of a hornet's nest there in Minnesota tonight. I really like Minnesota to win game 3. And then you were talking about if the Lakers can steal just one of these, I think that they can steal game 4. So I would go ahead and lean here to Minnesota. But I think you can get a better number live. No matter what you play on this, I think you can get a really good number live if you're playing the spread.
All right, so maybe wait till halfway through the first quarter, Soupy, and maybe the Timberwolves have an early lead and you can get maybe +5.5, +6. I think that might be a sound strategy, because this will be a hyped game. You know the crowd's going to be super, super hyped from the jump. Soupy, your take?
Yeah, the Minnesota crowd is hype. You saw that when they won the play-in tournament a couple of years ago, when they were unexpected to. The crowd was incredible. If you want to look at trends, Lakers, the last time they've gone into a game 3 tied at 1-1. They've won that game. Last 2 times that the Timberwolves have been in that situation, they've lost both games. Timberwolves, you have got to be physical on the boards. You got out-rebounded by the Lakers. You have Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle, and Naz Reid, and you got out rebound by the Lakers. Like, come on. They need to play more physical down low. You got to give Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle the ball. That's the only way they're going to win. But what I like is that the Lakers started spreading the ball around, went from 15 assists in game one to 24, I believe, in game two. Continue to spread the ball around with LeBron and Luka and let other guys get the ball. And I think that's how the Lakers win tonight.
So let's look at some player props in that game, and I'll come back over to you. Because right now, Luka is at 30.5 juice to the over. The Ant-Man is 26.5 juice to the under, and LeBron's at 22.5 juice to the over. Would there be any players that you would play tonight in this game?
I mean, I kind of want to take Ant-Man's over at home, where he's obviously better and he'll have the energy of the home crowd behind him. And what feels like a must-win game, players of his ilk usually step up and keep the ball in their hands. They're not apt to dish it off to give it to somebody else. He wants the ball in his hands here. This is a game where he could go for 30. I would look to his over from a points perspective.
It kind of does feel that way a little bit. And you got to remember, DG, when you get to the playoffs, you got to go to the stars. They're going to be calling more plays for him. He's going to be less apt to share the ball. So I agree with Zeno on that. But I go down the list, and Naz Reid's been a name that we've been talking about a ton this week. His number is 11.5 juice to the over. Is there any other names outside of the stars, DG, that you like tonight?
Yeah, so you're on that one, Naz Reid. I think Naz Reid is a great look because you got to think about these role players. They play so much better at home, and you're going to see that tonight with a lot of these younger guys, but they're not really offensive threats. Naz Reid is an offensive threat. He's going to let it fly from deep, and so if you do like his points, you could look at his three-pointers because that will be a good look and where he can go. And to hit one more star, Luka, he's been over in these last two games in this entire series. On the road, I don't think we see a lot of these role players kind of just step up really well for the Lakers. I think they all lean on Luka in this point.
No doubt about it. So I know that, Supa, you've got your prize picks coming up in about 5 minutes, so we'll get to those. But let's hit a couple other games quickly as we only have a couple minutes left in this segment, because tonight you've got two series that are at 2-0 and really haven't been competitive yet. Which do you think of the teams, the Magic or the Bucks, Soupy, have a better chance to cut into that 2-0 lead tonight?
I think it's the Bucks, just because now we're going to get Dame back for game two. He's got his legs, and he was a little rusty, but he actually played well. I think now that he's going to get back into the rhythm, because they need other people besides Giannis to do anything. 38 points and 15 rebounds, great. But when you're the only player doing anything, you're not going to be able to compete in this game, especially with the Pacers, who can score. They have plenty of options to score, and they play a better defense than they have in previous years. So the Bucks, I think they have the better chance, especially at home.
And guess what? The sports books believe that too. Zeno, let me come over to you, because the Bucks, who got trounced in the first two games, are laying 5.5 tonight at BetMGM, and the Magic are getting 4.5. Same question to you.
Here's something interesting worth taking note of. Okay, typically in these spots, what you do is you take the team that's down 0-2 coming home for game three in the first half, because that's their most motivated way to play. That said, home teams that are down 0-2 and headed home for game three in a series, they're 91-48-1 in the first half against the number. That's 65%. Wow. Here's the rub of this whole thing. Look at the premium odds makers are telling you to pay. 5.5 spread for the game. First half number, -4.5 for the Bucks. Nowhere near cutting that line in half. So odds makers are seeing the same thing that everybody else is seeing in this spot here situationally, and making you pay a premium on it. That's a tough pill to swallow, to essentially pay the full game price for just half game, which makes betting that first half a lot tougher to do. So I still lean on Milwaukee here, given the situation, but just something worth take note of about that first half line.
That's incredible analysis. I had no idea. Hashtag, do you want to do the work? DG, I'll let you wrap things up. 20 seconds, same question.
That's phenomenal by Mark. But I will say that we're looking at maybe if there's a way to pivot off that and still follow what Mark, what Zeno's saying here. We're talking about maybe the team total. So we could target maybe a Bucks team total to target there in the first half, because I love a first half team total.
Yeah, I know you do. Right now, the team totals, it's just too hard. There's the totals right there. That's too hard. I can't do it in real time. Gentlemen, great job. Great job. I couldn't get to it. So it is what it is. All right. Coming up on the other side, we've got some prize picks from my man, Soupy. Where is he headed tonight, and how will he rebound from a first loss in weeks to our man, King Lettuce? And if you weren't here at the top of the hour, that's okay. We lock in all of our best bets coming up before the end of the show. It's Coach and Company live on Stadium. Now, gentlemen, I ask you that if you are not playing in the NBA playoffs, how do you spend your offseason, or how do you spend the days when you're not preparing for a playoff game, but you are having a lot of extra time on your hands? Well, Devin Booker, who was just kind of cruising through the desert, and he made the day of a couple of young entrepreneurs. Producer man, roll tape if you don't mind.
Hey, y'all. Get some? What you got?
So we got these banana chips homemade. We got Gatorade, water, and milkshake.
Want to do a Gatorade and some banana chips?
Yeah, of course. What color Gatorade, whatever you want.
I'll do orange. That's you guys.
Whoa, thank you. Thank you so much. Cool card.
Thank you. Yep. I am.
I'm your biggest fan.
My man. Give me some.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. You guys keep doing what you're doing. Have a good one.
It doesn't take long, does it, boys? It doesn't take long. The question is, Zeno, 15 seconds. Was that 100 or a 50?
I think it was a hundy.
I think so too. DG, hundy?
I think it was a couple of them.
You think he doubled up?
Yeah, it looked like more than just one bill.
I love videos like that. To me, if you're making $40 million a year, take a minute. And then what did that little kid? I'm your biggest fan. You're damn right. That was awesome. Soupy?
Yeah, that definitely made those kids' day. Just to see Devin Booker, but also just to kind of support their little business. That's a great move by Booker.
God, I love it. I just like that. I'm a softy dad at this point in my life, but I love stuff like that. All right, coming up on the other side, we've got prize picks. We lock in our best bets. It's been a great day so far. We're back live in 5 seconds. All right, we are back live. Love the transition so far today. Tech has been amazing. All right, so producer man, here's what I need. He always reads my mind. You see that? I say it and it happens. It's amazing how dialed in me and producer man are. Now, I have been openly wooing Prize Picks to be a part of our show. It will happen at some point. Your day job, Soupy, is Prize Picks. You are an expert. You've been very successful lately in your rivalry in our prize fight with young Peyton. However, Tuesday, you did not win. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Tough pill to swallow, would you say?
It happens rarely, but you know, when it does, it stings.
Well, I'm about to make it a little bit worse because as you were losing Tuesday night and I'm laying in bed and I live in the Western time zone, Pacific time zone, I hear a little ding. I don't look at my phone, not at 3 a.m. Nothing's ever good at 3 a.m. But I looked at it first thing in the morning. And so I'd like to share it. And let's watch it together, you and I, and then I'd love your reaction to it. Producer man, if you don't mind.
Ooh, that's deep enough, Rogers. That's deep enough. Here comes the throw. Save Soupy. Save Soupy. Oh. It gets cut off. That throw had no chance, just like Soupy had no chance of beating me this week. Oh, Salad Boy, you second-generation broadcaster. Well, how do you let a second-generation broadcaster beat you in the first inning? That was easy. I want to celebrate, so maybe some chicken noodle, maybe some miso soup. Actually, hold that thought. I got some croutons here to go with my Caesar salad. Gotta love it. Now, looking forward to the prize fight next week. We're going to need you on there because last week You weren't. I had to give your picks on air. Soupy, I can't be giving out losing picks on air. That's a bad look for me. It's a bad look. Millions are watching. Come on. We can't have that next week. If the computer malfunctions, let's get someone out there to get that thing fired up for you. We'll see you next Tuesday. Oh, Chris. Look at Bassett.
Soupy, I hate to do that to you, but I'm just the facilitator. That's all I am.
I'm wondering how long he had that moment of the game pause to just sit there. Okay, I won this time. Hey, I actually won. Okay, now let me see. All right, how should I talk to Soupy? How should I talk? Wait, what do I have in my fridge? Hold on.
All right.
Perfect.
All right. So today it's not a prize fight. We're just trying to help people win. That's all we're trying to do.
That's all we're trying to do.
Give me 3 plays and players that you like tonight.
I'm going all ball night. So let's start with Pascal Siakam. I think he is the better scoring option than Tyler Halliburton. When Siakam now playing his first full season, he's been great. He's going to have another great night tonight. 7 straight. He's hit over 23 points against the Bucks, and 5 of the last 7 in Milwaukee. I think he's going to have another big night in an important game to try to get that 3-0 lead. And Jaylen Brown, he is locked in without Jason Tatum. He has gone over this prop in 11 of 14 games without Tatum in the lineup. He went for 36 points in the last game. I think it's another big night for him. And I mentioned with the Lakers and the Timberwolves, the Lakers need to spread the ball more. They did that in game 2, and they had a big game. They had the big win. They're going to continue to do that. Austin Reeves is going to get a lot more touches. That's why I think I have him over the 9.5 rebounds and assists with the Demon pick. I think that is generous, giving that as the Demon pick.
Good. Those are Soupy's prize picks. We get them every single Friday right here live on Coach and Company. All right. We're almost at the end of our allotted time, and things move, things change. So we always like to wrap things up and make sure you have all of our best bets, especially for those of you who were not here at the top of the show. So ladies and gentlemen, it's time to lock it in. All right, 10 seconds or less, just 1 or 2 nuggets is all that we need on each and every play. So, DG, big boy, let's start with you. What do you got?
We're going to the hardwood. Franz Wagner, under 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists at -120. In a playoff game, everything shrinks, especially the minutes, but also the points. We're going to go under on this. Then we're going to go our 2+ walks parlay at -117. Taiwan Walker in the early game, and then Cal Quantrill in the afternoon game. We're going to get with both these guys and have 2+ walks and have a nice -117 cash.
My man, Mark Zeno, go.
Paul Skeens, +1.5. Paul Skeens, a +180 underdog for the game. No way. Best bet in baseball you can make is taking the 1.5. Give me Paul Skeens +1.5 here, even with the Pirates being in Los Angeles playing against the Dodgers. Staying out west, Padres, 12-1 at home this year. Shane Baz started for the Rays, has made 4 starts. All of them have been in Tampa. First road start. Padres, one of the best home hitting teams in baseball, top 5. Batting average OPS, WRC+. Padres money line tonight.
I'm telling you right now, my man Zeno moves lines. I encourage you to get on that Skeens line right now. It is going up, not by a lot, but just 2 or 3 cents every hour. By tonight, this thing's going to be unplayable. That's how good that play is. Thank you, Zeno. Soupy, let me come over to you. What do you got?
Do you believe in Magic? Well, not for the whole game. I'll just believe in them in the first half. I got them at +2.5 in the first half because they've covered this in both games. And the Devils, I think they get their horns out against the Hurricanes. They've beaten the Hurricanes twice at home this year. And the Hurricanes between the road and home, it's way different.
It's way, way different. All right, we got Footy Friday. My man Chuck is back. What do we got today, Charles?
A little internet outage can't even stop us. We got Footy Friday, League on PSG Nice. I like Nice as a dog in this spot. Nice, first half team total over half a goal. They average 1.1 first half goals on the road. Bundesliga Saturday, Hoffenheim, Dortmund, the first half over 1.5 goals. I think we see at least 2 in this one. So MLS Saturday night, Columbus Crew, San Jose, the both teams to score in over 2.5, with Columbus averaging 1.2 at home and San Jose 1.9 on the road. Sunday, we had to have a little series. Inter Milan, Roma, both teams have scored, cashed 6 of the last 8 played in Milan. And lastly, going back to the MLS, LA Galaxy versus Portland Timbers. They've actually scored at least 2 in 6 of their last 9. Give me LA Galaxy team total over 1.5.
And do not forget, we get a premium play from Charles's store every single day. I encourage you to become a member there as well. It will pay for itself literally in the first 1 or 2 plays that you even have. There is a QR code right there. I love supporting the side hustles. Speaking of side hustle, we're a full partner with JTS. Absolutely love it. Mark, you are back. What is our JTS play of the day?
Coach, we got a little diamond and ice play going today for a plus 120. We're going to take Kerry Carpenter of Detroit to not have a walk today. He has gone under in 80 of 81 plate appearances this season. And we're going to pair that with Victor Arvidsson for the Oilers. He has faced the Kings 6 times. He's gone over this line, 1.5 shots on goal. He's gone over all 6 games, averaging 3.7. Put them both together for plus 120.
Boom and boom. I encourage you to become a member. We're going to do even better. There's a QR code. Download it. BTT30 is the code. We give you 30 days for free. For free. And finally, we end every single show trying to make you a smarter sports fan. Here's our inside info today from my man Raphael. The San Diego Fathers, as he likes to call them, have won 7 straight interleague home games against a team with a losing record, which Zeno should make you feel pretty good right about now.
Yeah, listen, it's better than being on the opposite side of that streak, that's for sure.
That's for sure. All right, now we do have weekend wagers today. DG, give me a 20-second preview of your show this afternoon right here on the same YouTube channel.
Yeah, weekday wagers has been really good and leading up all week, and now we have weekend wagers where we give you our 12-pack of plays to get you through the weekend. So Mark, Robbie, and I will be on there. We'll give you the 12 plays, but also see if we can get somebody into the saloon.
Oh, God, I don't even want to know what that. I'm going to have to tune in now just to find out what the freaking saloon is. See what you did now. I had a busy day. Gentlemen, great freaking job. Thank you very much. Great week. Producer man, you know what time it is. Give me that one shot. It's now time for you to all go out into the world. Enjoy the second day of the NFL draft. Enjoy the NBA playoffs tonight with the Lakers and the T-Wolves. Enjoy the baseball. Enjoy the hockey. This is what we do, but keep it positive and understand there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My entire company, damn it, do I love them all. My man Zeno, DG, Soupy, Mark, producer man, Big Chuck, and Raphael, always in the chat. I am simply the coach trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you, so we can win with you. Is what we're all about every single day. This is Coach and Company live on Stadium. Have a great weekend.